Hello guys, today was my first day of building powerful relationships. I know many of you don't really know what this is about, but I hope that this video will help you to understand it. First of all, I will be making a video of each class of the new things I'm learning so you can live this experience with me. I hope you really like it. Bye! So today the class started with the teacher's presentation and he told us what the subject was about and how he's going to evaluate us. I know I will always remember how the class started because because before saying anything or before introducing himself, he just sat down without looking at our faces and reading something he had written on his blackboard as if it were theory, and we all look at each other with a worried face because we didn't know what was going on, but I'm sure that at the end of the course I will understand why the class started like this. So, after explaining what had happened, the teacher has introduced himself and the subject, as many of us didn't really know what it was about. I'm surprised that he's a really big fan of music, and he told us who his favorite band is. For the next class, he has asked us to think about a person we consider to be a good public speaking, as this skill is very important for this subject, and I'm sure I will notice a huge change at the end of it. Hello. For today's class, we each thought about the person we consider to be a really good public speaker. We found it really interesting since each of us were talking about that person, and although some could be the same one, we all knew how to say different things about them. During the whole class, we have been talking about those people and their qualities, such as body language, which I found it really important, eye contact, tone, to be emotional while you are speaking in front of the audience. It was really good and really interesting. For the next days, we had to create a video of 2 minutes introducing ourselves, and once we had done that, we had to upload it into the platform and evaluate other students' presentations in order to identify their advantages and disadvantages while presenting or speaking in public in order to improve for the next presentations during the course. I had received feedback from my classmates, and this has made me realize the things I need to improve. For example, I think this is really useful because, for example, now I know that I need to improve with my tone and my eye contact. Hello everyone, I hope you are enjoying watching this type of videos. For this session we have been talking about the 6W and the importance of each one of them and what we have to achieve in order to have a perfect and dynamic presentation. First of all, we have been divided into small groups in order to talk about what W means to us, and then we went back to our general class to put it all together. I really enjoy this way of teaching since it is really interesting and you enjoy doing it. So I think it's really important to take this 6W into account since it can really help you for when you are doing a project, a presentation, or even an exam. Because if you use this 6W, you will have a work much more organized and dynamic since the theory you need to use has been previously analyzed by a 6W scheme. So I think that if I start using this in my presentations, I will get a better results and I will do it much faster. Something that I will never forget of this class is that I can never end up saying a thank you and that's it, because it is really important how you end up a presentation. Today we had a 3-hour session. We had to prepare a video of the topic we wanted. It was voluntary. After everyone makes their own, we tell them what they have done wrong and their positive points from their presentation. Among colleagues, we have been discussing the importance of doing eye contact, body language, and the tone of our voice. When you are presenting and while you are talking in public, it is really important to connect with your audience and to look at all of them. But you need to avoid not to look only at one or two because they can feel intimidated. Also, the tone of your voice, because you need to make up and downs in order to wake up your audience and to keep them attentive with all you are saying. And then finally, the body language. You need to gesticulate with your body, use your body in order to express what you want to say and express yourself. It would be much more easier. Do you know what we humans retain the most when we see someone speaking in public? Well, I used to think it was verbal, as it is when you start speaking or talking about the theory and what they are supposed to transmit to us with their presentations. But today I discovered we retain 7% of the verbal language and 55% of the visual language. Isn't that incredible? Today we were all very nervous because we are in midterms week and these ones are our first exams of the university. I think we will never forget them. And I took the class from home because I can't waste any time. I have a lot to study. But we talked about nerves. Is it normal to get nervous? Well, of course, like everyone gets nervous before presenting or before doing a speech. Like even people who have been doing the same thing for 30 years get nervous, but the only thing you have to do is know how to handle them. Okay, so the best two pieces of advice that I can give you is, first of all, do not forget that your audience are people. They are not going to judge you if you get nervous, and also they can even support you. You can ask, hey guys, who can help me to continue with what I was saying? Then this way you can first of all interact with your audience, and this gives you time to think about what you were saying. Two things that I always try to do before presenting is, first of all, practice and rehearse a lot, and also to think about what I am saying, because if I say it by heart, I know this is easier for me to make mistakes. Hello everyone. Well, as you can see today I am more relaxed because we are not anymore in exams as we were last time. Today we've done the session through board discussion where we had to provide some different digital tools that are useful while presenting. For me, two things that are really useful are, first of all, create games in order to entertain the audience so they can interact with you, and also create a video, especially better if it's made by you, and make sure that it's strong and powerful to end the presentation. But be careful and make sure that it is not really long, because the last thing we want to do is to bore our audience. Something that I need to start to do in a presentation is to focus on the message, because I always start talking, like I really love to talk, but I always start talking and then I don't focus on the message, so that can make people to disconnect, so that's not possible. Today's session was also from home, where the teachers sent us an assignment to do during the day. With the work group we had to choose a team that works well, and we have chosen Beatles as we consider that part of the success they have had as a music group is because of the teamwork they have done. This group has different strengths, and they have known how to bring them all together, and that the strength of each one of them comes together in one, achieving success among their songs at the same time as they have managed to go down in history as singers. We have seen the videos of our colleagues, and the one that I liked the most was the one that later turned to be the winner, Team B. They chose to do Queens. And since they explained it to us very well and they knew how to transmit to us perfectly the message they wanted to give us with their video, and the reason why they have chosen this group of music. Hello guys, how are you? How are you doing? Well, today I'm going to tell you an experience that I had a few years ago when I had to present a final course project. I did this work on my own because it wasn't like a group thing. I had been the previous afternoon rehearsing to make it perfect. So when the time came, I started presenting, but suddenly I didn't remember anything. Like I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what the presentation was about. So what I did was I asked the audience. I tell them what had happened to me, and I asked them if they could help me to continue. So we managed to move forward with the presentation, and then at the end I knew how to continue with it. I didn't get the grade that I wanted, but this made me learn and realize that nerves can always betray you, and that you need to be calm and relaxed. Hello again. For today's session, we talked about teamwork. For me, it is fundamental before starting talking about the theory to make it clear that in order to carry out a successful work, to respect and listen ourselves. Having said that, I think it is also really important to think about different objectives we want to achieve with our work, to analyze the vision and mission, and to assign different roles to each member of the group in order to be more successful and productive. My point of view, I have to say that I have had a good experience while working in teamwork. It is true that sometimes I'm not happy with the people I got to work with, but when that happens is then when I realize that I didn't have such a problem working with them. It is true that sometimes you don't agree with your colleagues, and when that happens, you need to try to find a middle ground that benefits both of you. For me, a dialogue is fundamental for these cases. So we have already started working with the groups for the final project. So far, we haven't had any problems yet, but if that happens, I think we should know how to act well and try to solve it in the best possible way. Hello everyone again. Today I'm going to talk about my experience with my BPR group. We have already started working on the group for the next week's presentation. We have created a group chat as due to a situation we are living right now, not all the members of our group are in Madrid. For now we are working very well. We have been able to share our different ideas and to start to get to know each other. We do not all share the same opinion, but we have been able to agree. As I said the other day, the important thing is to listen and respect each other. Once we have defined the key message, we have started looking for information and start thinking about the special techniques to start and finish the presentation, such as, for example, starting with a quote and finishing with a strong video. As we are the first group presenting next week, what we wanted to do is to have everything done today, such as like all the information, so then we have enough time to practice and to have everything ready for the next day, the presentation day. And the day arrived. We have presented the work that we have been working on for so long. As we were Group A, we were the first ones presenting. So I was a bit nervous because I wanted to do a great job, so I wanted to finish sooner. Once we finished presenting, the rest of the class gave us feedback and they told us a lot of things to improve. This was very useful for me to take into account for other occasions. Besides, as we were the first ones, we couldn't see an example before, so we had a lot of mistakes. Once they finished with our feedback, Group B started presenting. I love it because they did it in a very original way. Instead of making it boring by explaining everything, they did it through scenes and with very special videos. We all congratulate them. Today, another group has presented. We all love it because they did it by participating with everyone and making it more fun. Once they finished, we gave them feedback on what they have done. And in general, all the comments were good and we congratulate them. These presentations are helping me to improve as a public speaker and to put much enthusiasm while presenting and doing words and making it more fun. In the second part of the class, we have read a case in pairs, where each one had to represent a character and defend their case, trying to get a conclusion by talking and arguing. In this class, I am learning that other people may have different opinions than you, and that you need to respect them whether you agree or not with them, and try to get a conclusion after the discussion and the argument. You may get angry with people very important to you and break off a relationship just because you don't share the same thoughts. The important thing here is to be very open-minded. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Today was our last day of BPR. It's been like 3 months already. It seems like yesterday when the teacher told us that this class was going to be an agora, and that all the mistakes we had were going to be left there, and that we were there to learn. In today's class, as in the last two, the group that was missing has presented. We all really like it because they made a very entertaining video in which we all participated, and on the top of that, the winner would have a prize. In the second part of the class, we have discussed a case where the teacher gave us a situation and we had to sort out the elements from the most to the least important. We have put it in common, and the last BPR class finished. I remember in the first session when I told you about how the teacher started the class, I said that I was sure that at the end of the course I would understand why he did it like this. So now I understand. What he wanted to make us see is that that's not a way to start a class. Now, thinking about doing that, I see it like something that should not be done. However, before starting this course 3 months ago, I wouldn't have noticed. This means that I have learned and that there has been a change in me after this subject. I liked it very much, as I like to speak in public. However, when I have to speak in English, I'm afraid. But I think that after these months of training, I have lost my fear. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you like it, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to see more, and see you in the next video. Bye!